lips look dry.
What's up, y'all, and welcome to the Aging Potheads podcast. I am your boy, Big Brother Boss, and with me, as always, is the beautiful Miss Candy with an X. What's going on, Miss Candy?
Hey, listen, I just came out of the dispensary, right? And I told them, this is brand new dispensary. I told them, listen, I need something quick because I'm about to be on a podcast. They said, what podcast you gonna be on? I said, well, we call ourselves the Asian Potheads. And the little butt, the one of the fellas looked it up, and he was like, "Oh, this y'all?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I'm finna preview y'all weed right now. I'm still in a parking lot." So I got this. I got a little quick stick and some Jack Herrera.
Oh shit!
And I got this. He said I was looking for a pre-roll. It's called Presidential Wall Blunt. So he said, this is a pre-roll, and this is I'll snap. Hold on. Let me see what's going on. Okay, let me turn on my thing because it's acting like it don't want to do what I needed to do. But I said we're gonna try it live, but I still do want to preview the other weed, the blue ice that I've been smoking. That's been an indica, and it's been, lit. So give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna turn on. I have to make a setting on my phone to keep it on. So I'm gonna do that for 2 seconds. So I'm gonna do that and then come back on so it don't turn off while I'm talking.
No worries at all. Everybody out there, thank you for joining us. Go ahead and grab your smoke. We gonna light up in a second as soon as Miss Candy is ready.
Okay. Yeah.
This out to your friends. Are you ready or no?
Let me see, because it's a certain. Let's see. Settings. It's I had to get used to the Android again because I normally have an iPhone and I don't got problems like this with my iPhone. But
I figure with an iPhone you'll have all sorts of problems.
I mean, not really. Like, my screen will stay on as long as I look at it, but now it's acting like it don't want to do that. So, all right. So here we go. I think I'm good. Let's see.
All right, no worries. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead.
Okay, I'm back on. So let me unveil the quick stick.
All right, and let's go ahead and blaze, y'all.
All right. It's the Jack Herrera. Y'all know this is one of Boss's favorite. Yeah. One of his old school faves. Let me see. Let me get it open. Let's go through there. Okay. Okay, packaging is a little packagey, but it's cool. They got that packaging that's like the damn in the store where it'd be like, damn, like
right.
Wow. Okay. See what they talking about. It's a disposable.
Yeah. Go ahead. This right here, y'all. This is my new toothless pipe. For those who live here in Vegas, I picked this up. I picked this up at the smoke shop, one of my favorite smoke shops over on Rancho and Charleston in the Smith's parking lot.
Rancho and Charleston.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I know where that's at. That's next to Lake Ty.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's it called?
I forgot the name of the shop. It's just smoke shop to me.
My friend used to work there a long time ago. She don't live out here no more. But she used to work. She used to. The owner. He had like the previous owner had a sale, like a going out of business sale or something like that, and he gave her a bunch of shit. He gave her a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, they all. I get a lot of my stuff. And Tony said, "Yeah, it's called Smoke Shop, man. I don't. It probably is because
it's called Smoke Shop. That's the name of it.
It's a smoke shop on the outside. But
right
tonight, y'all, I am smoking on. Oh man, what the hell am I smoking on today? Pineapple Express is what I'm smoking on today, y'all.
Oh, you took it back.
Yeah, I took it back. It's that's not even the one I put. What did I put? Shit, I go through so much weed, y'all.
Right. See.
And let me get this on my
just call it another nigga weed.
Pineapple Express. It is a hybrid. In most cases, it is a sativa dominant hybrid.
Okay.
The movie made it famous. It's pretty cool. It's a nice strain.
Yeah.
I gave it 4.5 blunts. I need to start getting a farm on these, so I can tell you which brand it is, so you can go to the dispensary. But when it comes to this particular strain, I gave it 4.5 blunts. Reef here in Vegas normally carries it, whether it be in flower, or concentrate. They normally have Pineapple Express available. It's a very popular strain. Good for beginners.
Mm-hmm.
It does throw your head for a loop. So if you're an indica person, you might not want to mess with it too much. Check the numbers on it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Make sure it might be right for you. See if it's right for you. So most definitely, I gave it 4.5 blunts. Now,
okay.
You said you got the presidential. You haven't smoked on it yet.
Haven't smoked on that, but I've been smoking up until I just got this Jack Herrera. I was smoking Blue Ice, and that is an indica I got from one of my friends, and that's more of an indica. It's really good if you want to sleep good, because I noticed after I hit it, I get sleepy.
Yeah.
So, but it's it looks almost like purple. It has purple flakes.
Yeah.
He has 5 other strands too that I told him that, you got to start telling me the name of these, so I can tell, because I just be like, I got this some nigga weed, like I got to. But I say that in jest because you know how back then before dispensaries we get it from the weed man, so he the weed man. So, like we normally get our weed from him if we don't want to go pay the high ass tax at the dispensary. But, because I hit him yesterday and I was like, I was going to come and grab some, but I kind of got lost for time. So I came here, just trying to get something because I was like, damn, I ain't got no weed on me and I got to be on the, how I'm going to be on the show with no weed? Like, that's no good. So I went to so I was like, well, let me run to the dispensary real fast. Ask my other homeboy, like, what's the dispensary closest to here? And he told me, so we literally just pulled up. I literally just came out of there 2 minutes ago. It's called, hold on. Let me get my receipt. I'll tell you what it's called right now.
She said her receipt.
And I'm literally in a parking lot still. So it's called Virtue.
Virtue.
Virtue,
Okay.
Las Vegas. Shout out to the young man. I was telling him about the podcast. I
Uh-huh.
said we call ourselves the Asian Potheads, and yeah, we do, want to eventually look for, maybe dispensaries or things like that. Maybe we can broadcast from, and he pulled us right up. So I don't know if he's watching right now, but shout out to you and the
Mm-hmm.
other guy that was in there that pulled these beautiful strains for me. But it's called Virtue. It's there in Warm Springs, and we're on Warm Springs in Vegas, I think, off of Warm Springs, by the outlets, by the South outlets.
Okay.
So it's kind of by that rental car, the rental car place by the airport.
Okay. That's yeah. Okay. I know where you at. I know where it's at.
Yeah, right past the airport connector. So like if you're on, I used to work over here too. So it's like what's that street that's called it starts with a B or Bermuda.
Bermuda.
It's like off Bermuda and like Warm Springs, something like that. I'll get the complete address. I'll
You already, you
share
already
that with
started to get. You already started to get high because you rambling.
Right, I'm just running my mouth, so you can tell I'm already high. So but I did hit the blue ice earlier too. So
Mhm.
shout out for that. And I'm looking for the receipt so I can see that actual address, but it's around here somewhere.
It's all good. Now,
Yeah, I get it, but yeah.
Tony said he was smoking on some of the black runts. I gave him some black runts. This
Okay,
morning, but you did give Blue Ice five blunts,
I
and
did.
just reading up on it, it's definitely seems
One of
like
those.
one of those. I
It,
like it. I like this. I like what it says here about the giggly, happy, and euphoric. That means it's good watching movies with it. So
it is. It is.
you know, and the one I'm seeing here shows it leaning more towards the sativa side. But yeah,
Okay.
you
But
know,
see, and that's funny because if it's more of a sativa, I thought it was more of a hybrid.
mm-hmm.
And
And
I
it's a
thought it was
hybrid.
more.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I thought it was more indica leaning only because when I hit it, because I hit it a couple times. On my little break, I might take a hit or something like that.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I noticed I was, like sleep, like I was getting sleepy. So
Yeah.
I thought it was more in I didn't ask him which one it was like, but I assumed it was an indica,
Okay.
based off how it made me feel. But I did remember that I had like a very packed weekend, so maybe I was just getting
Tired.
tired. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was just coming down from the weekend type stuff. But to me, it read more indica than sativa.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
that's why I put hybrid because I
Mhm.
figured it could have been. I'm sure it sounds like it was a hybrid.
Yeah,
So
it's a hybrid. It just when I'm looking at some of the numbers, it reads like a in the effects, it reads more like a sativa. But hey,
mhm.
it affects different people
Either
differently. Like
or,
like
like
I
I
love
smoke both.
yeah,
So
I love like I smoke green crack,
yeah,
and depending on my mood, if I smoke too much, it's gonna put me out. But
yeah.
if I smoke just right, it's gonna put me in that spot I love to be in, where I can watch a movie, laugh, fucking talk shit, because I love talking shit. That's just me. Um, but yeah, I do understand whether it's sativa or indica. If you tired, you tired. You know what I mean? If you
It don't matter
tired,
what you on. If you tired, you're gonna pass out any damn way. So
yeah.
like that's why I thought that's what it was. But I'm leaning. But I didn't do the research on it, so I was like, I didn't get a chance to. So I was like, well, this feels like an indica to me. But bitch, you was up all weekend, so you really don't know. So I
Exactly.
had a great weekend. Speaking
Mhm.
of which, but go ahead.
Now our strain of the week, y'all, is pink panties. It is a indica leaning hybrid.
Okay.
Um, I've smoked it a few times. This right here, you were talking about sleep. If you hit enough of this, whether it be
Mhm.
flower or concentrate, oh yeah, it's gonna take you down. I mean, the pain goes away. Um, you start to feel, gets rid of that anxiety. I've smoked it before, and I was thoroughly impressed by it.
Okay.
And the fact that it knocked me out. I mean, it knocked me out so bad I didn't know what the fuck was going on when I woke up. I'm like, the fuck? I woke up like,
Right.
like
Right.
somebody put something in my weed. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
somebody roofie me. That's how I felt. Not making fun of roofies. So I'm just saying it felt like, it didn't feel like a normal indica to me. Because
Yeah.
it knocked me out. It sort of just hit me like just hit
Yeah.
me.
See,
Next thing
you
I'm
do
knocked out.
sativas. You're more of a sativa guy. So like when you do indicas, it might throw you for a loop.
Yeah,
You know
it
what I'm
does.
talking about? So
Yeah, it
so
does.
yeah.
It does kind of throw you for a loop. Pink panties is very good. Not for a beginner. Get a little smoking sessions under your belt before you start
Hmm.
messing before you start fucking with this pink panties. It
Yes.
is,
Where you start fucking with the big boys.
yeah, yeah. And Tony was talking about the black runs. He said this indica knocked him out on his ass this morning. Uh,
Well, I feel like after the night Tony had, I feel
yeah,
like it wouldn't have took much. So
yeah, exactly. But yeah, I'm glad you like it, Tony. You gotta get
them
on the
was
show
supposed
one
to
day and
be
tell
my runs, Tony.
y'all was both gonna
Them
get some. I mean,
them was
I
the
still got
runs I was
gas
supposed to get.
money.
But it's cool though. I'd
Yeah,
gladly give it up.
I still got your bag with your name on it. I still got you some. I
Okay,
still got
we gonna have to figure out a
yeah,
way to come to each other.
yeah, yeah. I got you though. Don't even worry. Don't even trip. I got you.
I know
Now
I'm just talking shit.
on on to the funky shit we got going on, y'all. Um, basketball player Ja Morant is back in the news.
I'm so
Um,
sick of this nigga.
I
I'm sick of
yeah,
him.
yes, he was seen during an Instagram live, or I believe a video. I don't know. I didn't read because I'm like, here this motherfucker go
It was a
again,
video.
and he had a gun, and of course, I believe the NBA has suspended him yet again. How you gonna get suspended on your day off?
Exactly. Because it's like they're not even playing. So what the fuck is the suspension for? Like, okay, by the time the regular season comes back around, the
Uh-huh.
suspension gonna be up. So I'm like,
No,
but
I think it starts in the regular season.
oh
Um,
well, all right. Well, maybe, but like I know what I saw was I saw the video.
mhm,
He was in the car with his homeboy. His homeboy was driving, and his homeboy was filming. And they in the car vibing or whatever, doing their thing. And then this nigga pull out a gun, and then the homeboy try to turn the camera down, like So his homeboy already was like, nigga, I heard you. I don't
mhm,
want to keep saying nigga, but his homeboy
mhm,
was kind of, you could see where he tried to turn the camera down,
mhm.
when he saw the gun, like, boy, you just, this was a month ago. They just was on you about this.
Yeah.
So, and you do it again. It's just like,
Mhm,
John Moran, from what I know, didn't grow up like in a hood. He's not from, like, I'm not sure. I know he was born, like, I think in the South or something like that,
mhm,
or something like that. But he didn't grow up a hood guy. He came from a
mhm,
two-parent home.
mhm,
He grew up very middle class. So I'm trying to figure out what his fascination with. They say, from what I read, he listens to a lot of NBA young boy, and it's like,
mhm.
nigga, you're not NBA young boy. Like,
Yeah.
you not who you trying to be, and why do you keep wanting to flash the guns? It's
Yeah.
not a crime to have a gun,
Uh-huh.
but you're in the NBA.
Mhm.
There's a certain aesthetic, and there's a certain uh like way they want you to portray yourself. So
Yeah.
why do you keep, and you just got in trouble for the thing last month? What is you
Yeah.
doing? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this, Joe?
I'm gonna say this, and
What's the reason?
yeah, it's two things here. It sounds like he's trying to get street credibility. He grew up in a middle class neighborhood, and or middle class upbringing. Candy, you frozen. I don't know what's going on, but it's a weird pose you got going on. Uh, but he grew up in a middle class family. Maybe he's trying to get that street cred because
But why? But what?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't tell you why. But two, if it wasn't for the NBA, I wouldn't see nothing wrong with this. NBA has their own rules.
Me neither. I mean, like I said, there's nothing wrong with him having a gun. There's nothing wrong with him owning a gun. There's nothing wrong with him vibing with his people and whatever and doing him. But you're in the NBA, you can't do what everybody else do, and these niggas, like you're a young man, you got a chance of a lifetime. You've been, you're 23, you're NBA, you got millions of dollars promised to you, and it's like you want to throw it all away. You got endorsements and stuff. You want to throw it all away because you want to flash some guns on. It's nothing wrong with you owning one, but why do you have to flash it? You ain't shot nobody. What are you doing? Why are you being like this? I don't understand.
My thing is this, and I'm gonna say this. It's the NBA thinking that he influences children or influences young players. Let's be clear.
He does.
Young people. Let's be clear. He is a young person.
And he is.
Young people his age, this is what they're doing. You can go on Instagram, YouTube, not TikTok. TikTok might take you off, but you can go on these shows. On these platforms, and you can see tons of kids doing what he's doing. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? You can see.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm not defending him, but who is he influencing when kids in his age bracket or young people in his age bracket are doing this? So he's not doing anything. He's not doing anything out of the ordinary. But when you have the NBA, you are held to a certain standard by the NBA. Yeah, I know. Tony, I use the word kid a lot, but yeah, that's why I tried to switch up and say young. Yeah,
he's not a kid. He's 23, which is young to us and a kid to us, but he's still a grown man. Yes. And it's not like he came from that lifestyle. You have two parents. Your dad was very active in you becoming. I heard from what I know about John Morant, his dad was a barber. His dad hoops too, but he gave up his hoop dreams to make sure that his son could be, put all his energy in his son, becoming the best player he could be and going into the NBA. So you about to throw all of that away for what? And I understand other kids do it. I understand that's what they're into, but you have a different responsibility. And I really want his dad to take him and square up with his ass. Because you about to lose all this money, because you want to be out here thugging, and these niggas is they. Let me stop saying niggas, but go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And Tony said 23. Oh, a kid. My thing is, some people are treating it like it's no big deal, and I can see their point. You know what I mean? But the NBA has rules, and he has to follow those rules. And these are one of those rules where normally I would argue against, but no, this is one of those rules like, dude, you just gotta. His dad does need to sit down with him, say what the fuck is going on.
Like, what are you doing, son? Like, what you up to? Because the NBA is very, they're like Disney, which we gonna probably segue into Jonathan Majors after this. But they're very like Disney. They have a certain image that they want to uphold, and because you're going against that grain, they're not going to, that there's just certain things they don't want to represent, these are kids, the NBA is for everybody. There's the Bible Belt, old people that watch the NBA, young impressionable children that watch the NBA. They want to keep up a certain image. So that's why he can't just put a gun on Instagram. He can't do that. I
Yeah.
know he feels like he should be able to do that, and he's not shooting people, or nothing like that. But what's gonna happen is somebody gonna try you. You're gonna be out here, and like, cause I understand you're in Memphis too. Memphis is one of them kind of towns.
Yeah.
Memphis has a hood too. So,
Mhm.
I just think that he should. Even though I know he's young, and I try to think when I was 23, I was locked up. So it's not me judging him,
Yeah.
but just coming from a perspective where I've been there and done that, and
Mhm.
I understand. I didn't know what I do now as a 39-year-old woman now,
Mhm.
how the decisions I made back then affect me now,
Exactly.
and when you're 23, you don't think about that kind of stuff, so I get it, but he needs to think about it, and he needs to think about it real fast. He's got
For
too
real.
many people that rely on him, his family, he just, he bought these big ass houses for his parents,
Yeah.
like you're responsible for a lot of people, and I know that's a lot of weight on your shoulders as a 23-year-old, and you
Mhm.
just want to live and do you. And yes, he should have all of that, experience all of that because he's young.
Yes. Mhm. For
But
real.
there's certain things that you just can't do because you're in the NBA, bro.
Mhm. Yeah. So leave that shit out there. But it also leads to another thing that we tend to think about, or that I think about when I'm high and think about this type of shit, is that somebody posted it. You know what I mean? I know his boy tried to turn the camera down, but somebody posted it. So how much trouble were you trying to get? Were you trying to keep your boy out of? Because it sounds to me you just sold it to TMZ so you can get a little quick buck on your boy.
Yeah, you never know. You
Yeah,
never
you
know.
never
Like everybody around you ain't, like ain't pure, like because he was in the car with the dude. I don't know the way sometimes, the camera doesn't always mirror. So I don't know if it was
know.
Jaw driving or his homeboy driving. But it was just we just saw them two in the car, and
Yeah.
then you just see Jaw just hold up the gun while him and his homeboy vibing. So it looked
Yeah.
like the video was already playing when he showed the gun, and then the homeboy saw like, oh, well, and then went like that type kind of thing. So it's like even why would you do that?
Yeah.
He's live on Instagram or whatever, doing his little vibe or whatever, and then you pop up with the heat. Like
Uh-huh.
for what?
Yeah.
You just got out of hot water with them.
Exactly.
Boy, you
Exactly.
don't start.
For real. Uh but yeah, he needs to grow up. Like Tony said, he said he needs to grow the fuck up.
He
He
does.
really he really just needs a mentor. And I think that's what the NBA is missing nowadays. Because it seems like everybody wants to just be on their individual shit in the NBA. You don't really hear much about camaraderie. Even on the same teams, you always hear about the beefing and not really what they do in the off season or when they're not at work. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
are we gonna get mentors? You know, these young boys come into the NBA and a lot of them are fresh out of school. They put them in these cities where they probably didn't grow up at. And
exactly. I don't think
they,
Ja grew up in Memphis, but I don't know. I know he grew up like in the South or Southeast or something like that, but I don't think he grew up in Memphis.
and I think they need someone to they need that extra hand on them. I know they're grown and they're supposed to be men, and they play a sport where they get millions of dollars, but we still have to remember these are still young men. These are still 20 and 23-year-old men just fresh out of college.
Yeah,
So they still are hip to this dumb shit. They hip to being on the dumb shit sometimes because they're still young. They're still in their 20s.
yeah,
So they need, in my opinion, they just need that little extra hand on them to make sure that they're keeping it straight. This guy, like, for example, this guy Henry Ruggs here in Las Vegas. He was a rookie for the Raiders. Now he's about to get 3 to 10. He has a
And he
possibility.
deserves it. He deserves it. He
Mm-hmm.
deserves it. You killed somebody. A regular person would be getting life.
Uh-huh.
A regular
Yeah.
person would be maybe get we don't do the death penalty out here, and we treat DUIs out here like they just regular, because. And I'll tell you what I think about that, because again, we go back to the casinos serving liquor all day. They're not gonna not, put in the, if they stop doing that. That's why DUIs aren't treated as bad in Vegas as they are anywhere else, because they let you drink all day in Vegas.
Mm-hmm. It looks like. I'm sorry. I'm looking at some comments here. It looks like the guys at the dispensary is actually watching on YouTube.
Hi, I just got my weed.
They said 310 East Warm Springs. I'm pretty sure that's around where you were.
Yes, I'm still in their parking lot.
Yeah,
I'm still in y'all parking lot. I didn't have time to pull off y'all, but thank you. I hit it once and it was great. I'm not, because I am, in a car, so I didn't want to do too much, but I took a little teeny hit and I'm good.
Yeah. And Tony, I did send you a DM. Don't worry about it. Just check it out for me. No need to take any further action on it. I just tell him that because he might be listening and not seeing. But shout out to Virtue Dispensary. They on the call. They said go there and ask for Camille near the airport location.
Boom.
So definitely check them out, y'all. That's not a paid endorsement because she paid for her weed.
I paid for my weed. I got I just got this from y'all. Mm-hmm. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm definitely gonna try it, and we're probably gonna review it next week on the next show. We do our pods every Wednesday at 7-ish, guys. So, like if you wanted me to do the review for this, I'll do it next week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So most definitely check them out. But back to John Morant and these young men and young women too. I understand it's a personal responsibility thing. Don't get me wrong. I completely understand that part. However, I believe they need that extra hand. I believe rookies in almost any sport needs like what they call a house mother or a den mother or a resident assistant. Someone who's there to just give them that extra attention other than their agent. Somebody that the NBA hires or the team hires just to keep these rookies,
I believe, like a handler or something like that, that because I just found out today that the NBA won't even, they don't draft high schoolers anymore. They make you go to college. So, it's not like it's not like when, LeBron and Kobe came into the league. They came in straight out of high school. They don't let NBA players do that anymore. So, it's not like he's fresh out of high school, like you went to college, you had the college experience. And again, you come from, a decent group of people. You didn't grow up like this. So I'm trying to figure out what the fascination is with the ghetto. Like what, maybe it's because he's in Memphis, or maybe because, he listens to a lot of NBA YoungBoy. He think he NBA YoungBoy, but it's like, what's his name? Called him NBA Dumb Boy or something. What's his name? He used to play with the Lakers a long time ago. He had.
You sure it wasn't Charles Barkley?
It wasn't Barkley. No, he has a pod too. Mm-hmm. And when he was he played against Jordan, so that's how long ago he played. But he didn't do. He was like a second string off the bench player, but he went on Instagram because he has a kind of a following, and he does have, like a podcast as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget, every time I try to think of it, I forget his name. But he talked about, he gave his opinion on it, and everybody's saying the same thing. It's like,
Yeah.
they talked about it on Skip and Skip show today.
Yeah.
So they're everybody's kind of getting on him about it, because it's like, bro, we just had this conversation a month ago, and you back out here flashing guns on Instagram.
Exactly. So, Ja, I hope you grow up. I hope you get a handler.
Please.
I'm glad that the NBA is not taking them straight out of high school anymore. But also that also coincides with the fact that now they can get paid in college too. Because a lot of times
they can. Or get endorsement deals. They can get endorsement deals now. I don't think they can actually pay them, but the NCAA
they get money.
Okay.
They get money. I like the system as long as it works. It works. But yeah, because you got to understand, these colleges, I'm not going to get into that. But I'm going to use this aspect of it, because you talked about they have a lot of people depending on them. Some of these kids coming out of high school, y'all, they don't have much. The only thing they have is their talent and their skills in this sport. And that could be any other sports. So when they get into college, you got to understand, that's 4 years that they go to college, and sometimes their family is still struggling. So they
broke.
So,
can't feed.
Some of them go into the NBA because they got a lot to put on their shoulders. Not their responsibility, but they feel it is. So I think when they are in charge of their image in college and they get a little money for it, I don't care. But as long as it doesn't affect the game.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't want to hear motherfuckers talking about they holding out for this school because they want to get a certain endorsement from that school, or they're doing this or doing that. I hope that the sponsorships work the way they're supposed to, which is where these people are just in charge of their image and things like that. So, it helps them in college so they can develop. So when they do get to the NBA, the money doesn't really affect them as much as it did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're used to having it. So
right.
Let's go on, y'all. We didn't really took that one.
We took like 38 minutes talking about that.
But yeah, we got some more stuff here. Now, you have an update on the Jonathan Majors case, and what do you have for us today?
So I've been keeping up. You guys know I watch a lot of other podcasts, and I follow some tea pages on the Shade Room, Instagram, the Neighborhood Talk, Jasmine Brand, and they've been naturally keeping up on the Jonathan Majors case as well, and the DV charge is going to stick. So that kind of raised a few eyebrows, just because, it sounds like they're going to go through with maybe prosecuting him. So there's questions about whether those text messages that his legal team has been, putting out, they put out a text with the young lady that, his girlfriend or ex-girlfriend or what have you, put out stating that, I told the police this, I told the police, it wasn't that, this and this and that, I told them I attacked you. Basically coming out and trying to, it very much gave, I'm trying to clean it up now that I either caused all of this, or I'm trying to clean it up because it wasn't that, or I'm trying to clean it up because I'm a DV victim and I'm scared of the consequences of me not cleaning it up. So a lot of people are going with that. Like, she sounds still like a victim. And I think there's video that has been released as well, stating that, showing her in the club hanging out, saying, because she said he hurt her wrist or something like that.
Yeah.
But she was in the club using her wrist just fine. Like, we know how these situations go when a couple get into it, and they start fighting or what have you, and then when the police get called, now everybody's trying to
Yeah, and
make it seem
that's
like
the
it
whole
wasn't
thing.
that.
I believe the lawyers shouldn't had released that text
I don't
because
think so either, because it didn't do him good. It didn't make anything better. It
yeah,
didn't make the situation better. And I find it funny that Disney is still being real quiet on it. That I don't think Disney wants to recast him as Kang. I think
yeah.
that they're just, trying to make everything wait till everything quiets
Disney
down.
Disney
And just
moved. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Finish your point.
no, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just feel like, but I find it funny too that, his homeboy, Michael B. Jordan ain't, really came out and said too much. They was acting like they was, bros before hoes and, taking all these pictures and shit, and all of a sudden we don't see him with him anymore. So I don't know
Disney,
if he's gonna get recast in Creed 4.
yeah.
But it doesn't look like Disney is really trying to recast him. We haven't heard anything from Disney about it. So
Disney and Marvel, they move in silence. You know what I
they
mean?
do.
They want to see what goes on here, and maybe they can Ezra Miller this shit. You know what I mean? And
That's
just
what
say
I'm thinking.
we're gonna keep
But
this, we're gonna keep this
my,
going.
my thing with that is Warner Brothers is way more like grittier than Disney. Since
Mhm.
Disney bought Marvel, Disney still has this clean cut image that they want to,
Yeah.
portray.
Mhm.
So that's why I think it's going to be a problem for Jonathan. That's why initially everybody thought it was going to be a problem for Jonathan.
Uh-huh.
Ezra Miller, one, he's a different. He's the complexion for the thing,
Uh-huh.
and he's with Warner Brothers. He's DC. DC is a different vein. They tend to do a little bit more grittier stuff than
Mhm.
Marvel does. So their shit is usually a bit darker.
Mhm.
So that's why I feel like Ezra can, but you got to look at Tony Stark. Like
Mhm.
he was a,
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. He was a drug addict, bad drug addict, went to rehab
Uh-huh.
and everything, and then Marvel revived his career.
Not only did
So
he go to rehab, he went to prison. He
he
was in
went to
prison.
jail. He
Iron
went to
Man,
the big house.
yeah, Iron Man was his comeback. They knew
It
that
was,
it was a chance. We're gonna take a chance on this guy, and
and it worked out.
Here we are, 20 some odd movies later, 10 years later. But what I'm looking at here is although Ezra Miller has the complexion, and I want to bring that into the argument. What we do know is that Marvel and Disney will sort of separate themselves, so Disney can say, "Hey, that's a Marvel thing." People want to come to Disney because they see that family, that wholesome thing, and they say, "What are you gonna do, Disney?" Well, Disney already told you that Marvel is sort of like its own entity. You know what I
Right, we
mean?
own it, but we still let them do what they do.
Exactly. And no matter where this falls out, I hope he's held accountable for what he's
I do
done.
too. If he did it, if he was like being abusive, then yeah, I do want him to be held accountable
Yeah,
for
we
it.
want him to
But
be held accountable, but we also need to figure out. Disney's going to figure it out, or Marvel's going to figure out what they're going to do. They are dealing with this multiverse storyline, so it could be easy to recast him.
it
Um,
could, but I don't. I mean, they invested so much money in Jonathan Neighbors at this point. Like, I feel like Disney doesn't. I mean, it's not like they're gonna take a loss if they
yeah.
do recast
Well,
him. But
here's the
I
thing.
just,
It
I
all depends
don't
on
know.
where we. It also depends on where we see Kang next. We do know that Loki is premiering in later this year, like past like the fall. So
Hmm.
that's the next time we expect to see Kang or a Kang variant.
Hmm.
Spoiler alert, because we've seen this at the end of Quantumania, um, Ant-Man Quantumania, which is streaming on Disney Plus, y'all. Big plug. um, but yeah, we know that he's going to appear quite possibly in Loki. I don't know what's going on with that per se, but we're gonna see how this plays out. If he did it, I want him held accountable. If he didn't do it, I just expect to say that it worked. Let's go ahead about our lives. Let's not drag
Yeah.
up every time a new Marvel movie comes out.
Yeah, because I really like Jonathan Majors, and I really wanted him to win. And like this is the fastest fall from grace ever. If he did do that, like I feel like he had a very promising career. I liked him in all his movies. I liked him in Craft
Lovecraft
Country.
Country, yeah.
I loved him in the Harder They Fall.
Uh-huh.
Jay-Z produced that. It was old Western,
Mhm.
stylized Western, but I liked him in that. I like the characters that he plays.
Yeah.
So, I would hate, although, I'm a fan of his, it's kind of upsetting to hear this about him. And it was like a
Uh-huh.
shock. So I just
Yeah.
hope that whatever the truth, I don't think we'll ever know the truth, but,
Mhm.
like I just hope that he's not being ostracized for some shit he didn't do or some shit that just
Yeah.
got out of hand or, like he really wasn't the
Yeah.
perpetrator in, but,
Mhm. And let's also be clear, it could have been a fight.
yeah,
We
it could have
still,
been both of them. We know how
yeah,
relationship shit go.
yeah. I mean, think about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Um, think about, well, a little known one, Chris Brown and Rihanna, because I still think they were both fighting, and the police just took
Yeah,
her. But it's always this thing to where we still don't see women as abusers, or we don't just see it as a domestic dispute between two people on an equal basis where they both hit each other. You know what I mean? And so we have to see how this plays out, and that's where I'm at right now. I want to see how this plays out. Not gonna take sides until I see how this
I
plays out.
do. I'm not going to take sides either, but I know women are sometimes the aggressor. Like
Yes.
I know sometimes, like I've been in domestic situations where, like
Mhm.
I've been, I fought and things like that. You just don't know how it went down, but
Mhm.
the most times, they do side with the women,
Yeah.
like in those a lot of those situations. But
Mhm.
sometimes the woman is the aggressor,
Yeah.
and like you shouldn't put your hands on people. No, nobody should be putting their hands on nobody.
Exactly.
But the system has always kind of identified with women in those
Hmm.
situations.
Yes.
And because he's a big, strong black man, like in this, he she uh and the way things went down, he was texting some girl and she just
Yeah.
went off kind of thing. That's what they kind of said what happened with Brianna
Exactly.
and Chris,
Mhm.
like, but they
Yeah.
probably was in the car chunking them because I've definitely chunked them with some of my exes. Like, nigga,
Yeah.
who you think you bop 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 bop? Like it be like that sometimes. Like,
Exactly.
and then after
Exactly.
everybody cools down, everybody calms down,
Uh-huh.
like, and then it's like now we got to clean up. So it's a
Hmm.
lot of impulse,
Yeah.
impulsive things that
Hmm.
happen, and I think it was just that, but I feel like maybe she thought about it afterward and was like, damn, because if like you still trying to be with the man
Yeah.
and he's a star, like, and you trying to keep, your girlfriend status, that probably was the move, baby. To
Exactly.
go ahead and put this stuff
Exactly.
out, and then if you still wanted to be with him, like, well, now you ruined his career. So, like,
Yeah.
what you think is going to happen? You're gonna
Exactly.
have to go back to work. Like, you didn't think
Yeah.
that out. You didn't think
Mhm.
about all of that. So,
Exactly.
and I'm
Now,
not victim blaming. I'm just saying because I don't know. I don't
yeah,
know what happened.
we don't know what
But
happened. It'll all come out. It'll all be played out. I think that's what Marvel is waiting for, just for it to play out, see what happens. But like you said,
right,
they have a lot of money invested in them. But we're gonna move on to we talk about controversy. We talk about Jonathan Majors and him being a person of color. Now we're gonna move to what you were watching this week, which is Queen Charlotte. There's a whole lot of bullshit around it, but
really,
yeah, it is.
I don't know.
Yes, it is. And what's Queen Charlotte's things? Prayers, prayers. What she just
Prayers, sorrows, prayers, sorrows.
you know,
That's what she say.
these folks get mad over fictional characters. And it's crazy, but you watched it. You watched Queen Charlotte, which is streaming on Netflix. It's a Bridgerton story. I don't know why everybody's upset. But before I'm gonna let you get your thing. But I'm gonna say this: a lot of people are upset, are told to be upset, because if they had watched Bridgerton, they would know Queen Charlotte was already a woman of color. So we're not faking history. We're basically following a storyline of a fictional story, people.
It's a reimagination of the actual events that took place. Queen Charlotte is a actual queen from England, but no, she wasn't black. She was very lily white. But Shonda Rhimes produces this. Shonda Rhimes, we know, has done what's the doctor show on that's been on for years? Grey's Anatomy. She's done with Kerry Washington.
She's done How to Get Away with Murder.
How to Way to Get with Murder. She produces those very lucrative primetime shows. So this is Bridgerton, which she was also, but it's a reimagination of those times had they been, with color, with characters of color. So like I've only seen a couple of, like, maybe the first 3 episodes, and I love the reimagination of it. I gave it 5 blunts so far.
Okay.
Because I like the direction. I've always liked what Shonda Rhimes has done. I like her characters. She's done what's her name with the president and Kerry Washington.
Scandal. That's the name.
Scandal. Yeah, Scandal. I was a diehard Scandal fan. I didn't get into How to Get Away with Murder that much, but because I think they were on at the same time. But Scandal is hers. She's been in Hollywood Gold for years. So, and she's a black woman. So for her to be able to reimagine these characters as people of color, it's just a reimagination, guys. It's a fictional story. It's an adaptation of what actually, that nobody, it's not like she's the first one that's ever done this. It's just because go ahead.
What people need to understand is that her color, although you might assume that, it really didn't make a difference in the writing or the casting, because she was already not liked by these people, and it wasn't because she was a woman of color. It's a character that she plays, and to me, her race or ethnicity doesn't even apply to the story.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't like Queen Charlotte. Yeah.
She's just an actress playing a role. So folks need to get over it. I haven't watched it yet.
It's good.
But I have heard good things. It is on my list. You gave it 5 blunts, so I'm going to check it out, y'all. That's Queen Charlotte. That's Queen Charlotte on Netflix. Now, I watched a different movie.
What'd you watch?
I watched Jennifer Lopez's new movie, Mother, on Netflix. It's streaming on Netflix. It started streaming last Friday, just in time for Mother's Day, y'all. I gave it 3 blunts.
You gave it 3?
I gave it 3.
Why?
It was predictable. I knew what type of movie it was going to be in. It was predictable. I knew what was going to happen.
Okay.
It was good. It was a decent movie. Let's be clear. I'm giving it a solid 3 blunts. It's not like I gave it 2.5 and said because it is. It's a good movie. It's a movie that, if you just need to pass the time, this is that movie. It stars Jennifer Lopez and Omari Hardwick, and it's a spy thriller. Think about Taken. Think about what's
that Jennifer Lopez movie that where she fought the guy? She was married to the guy and he was beating her.
Yeah. It's like Enough. It's like Taken mixed with Enough.
Okay.
That's literally what this is.
That's literally what the movie is. Got it.
Some people have reviewed it better than me, but that's just my opinion, y'all. So y'all go over to Netflix, y'all watch it. It's called Mother. It's streaming on Netflix right now. It stars Jennifer Lopez. I am, so that's just, you know, I know some people get mad. They say, "Oh, I loved it. I would have gave it 5 months." I get it. You probably would have. Me personally, I sort of called every scene in the movie. I knew what was going to happen from beginning to end. I just wanted to see how it played out. But yeah,
Okay.
it's just to me. It's just it's medium action. Um, if you want,
Okay.
if I want to get nitpicky, in the action scene, some of the choreography was like fight choreography. It was like
Okay. It wasn't getting you like it was supposed to get you. Okay.
it wasn't hitting. So most definitely, I'm not discouraging folks. Go check it out. But what I will do, one thing I was disappointed again today, y'all. Let me get these. Let me get this shit down. Um, I love to eat. I'm a pothead. I get the munchies, and I like to go out.
Same.
We follow a lot. I follow me and my girl. We follow a lot of people, a lot of foodies on TikTok, especially here in Vegas. And one of our favorite content creators, Keith Lee, said he went to this place called Catcher's Fish House here in Las
Ah,
Vegas. It's over on Charleston and Torrey Pines, across the street from the college. So we decided we were going to go in there and try it out. Right after he did it, it was full. So we said, we'll come back. So we went back. And I was very disappointed.
really?
Now, this has nothing to do with Keith Lee's review. Because, like you said, different people got different taste buds.
Not 2.5 months.
I gave it 2.5 blunts simply because them hush puppies and that sauce they got with the hush puppies.
Terrible.
Okay. I had the catfish plate, which pretty much, I had the snapper plate, which pretty much was red snapper, French fries, and a side, normally coleslaw or the hush puppies. We chose the hush puppies.
These ain't.
Hush puppies are good. Don't get me wrong. Them hush puppies.
You can't really fuck up a hush puppy though. Like
you
it's
can.
a hush puppy. You can?
You can fuck up a
I
hush
ain't never had a fucked up hush puppy, so I don't know, but okay.
I have. Yeah. Mario's has a fucked up hush puppy.
The Aria?
Mario.
Oh, Mario's, yeah.
Okay.
I can see that.
Okay. And they know that. So I ain't putting that. If you like Mario's hush puppies, hey, more power to you.
Niggas that love Mario's been eating at Mario's for a long time. That's just a Vegas staple. Yeah, you can't say nothing bad about Mario's because it's a hood staple, and like you might get beat up. So
yeah, I'm not saying, I'm talking about specifically they hush puppies.
Okay.
I love Mario's red snapper. I get it every time I'm there because I don't like catfish.
I like Fish Cage, but I don't even think Fish Cage is open no more. But go ahead.
But back to Catcher's Fish House, it was nice. The folks were attentive. It's small, but it's a cool spot. I didn't like the breading on my red snapper.
Okay.
I'm used to more like a cornmeal-ish type breading. This was pretty much seasoned flour breading, and it just didn't hit that taste I was looking for. I could care less about the texture. The texture is always the texture.
Okay.
I didn't like the seasoning on it. The fries were just very mid, and it seems like whatever seasoning they put in the flour to fry it, they throw on the fries. The fries had so much potential.
They have potential.
Yeah, they could have been a little bit more crispy. My girl said her catfish could have been a little bit more crispy, a little bit not fried harder, but just a little bit more crispy. My snapper was great. It was cooked perfectly. It just didn't have that extra oomph that I was expecting.
The oomph you needed.
Now, a lot of this does have to do with price too, because what I got versus what the cost, I didn't think was the best.
Okay.
This is something I think I would have paid maybe $12 to $15, not $20 to $25. Okay?
I got you.
For that, We lost Candy. Hopefully she'll get back here. But yeah, Catcher's Fish House. I gave it 2.5 blunts, and I will. If you're watching, y'all, I will do a Yelp review. If the folks from Catchers are watching, I will do a Yelp review, just to see. Maybe it was an off day. Maybe so. Anything could happen. But right now, Catchers did leave a little bit of. Catchers did leave a little bad taste in my mouth, y'all. But I'm not going to. I may give it another chance, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
We were caught between this and another place, but I was tired today, so I didn't want to drive all the way across town. So I said, let's just go to Catchers. So we are going to
we're gonna try that. Yeah, we're gonna have to try that. I know we were supposed to go to Rolling Smoke today, but we didn't. Things happened to where we couldn't go, and I didn't get a chance to try a new munchie this week. So we basically living off the old munchie.
It's cool. It's cool. We're gonna get Hey y'all, we're heading out. We were supposed to go to Rolling Smoke today, but like she said, some things happened. So we won't have that for you next week, but we will have a review for you next week because I'm always out eating. Those who know me know I'm always out in these streets eating. I'm always out in these streets eating. So definitely, y'all, check us out. Let us know in the comments where you like to eat here in Vegas. Shout out to our friends over at Virtue Dispensary.
Shout out to y'all.
When y'all go in there, ask for Camille, say Candy sent you from the Aging Potheads. I gotta go check that place out. I probably gotta head over there tomorrow.
Definitely come here. Like I said, I hit because I am in the car. I don't want to do. Don't want to be driving under the influence. But I did take a little puff off the pen. It's this one right here. It's called the Magic Stick, and it's the Jack Herrera. And so far, it's got me up. It's got me vibrant. I like it. I'm feeling it. Just a teensy bit. But I don't want to, take. I don't want. I'm gonna definitely hit it again. Really, really good when I get home, and then I'll reevaluate when I get home for next podcast, and then I'm gonna hit the pre-roll that I got there too, which is this guy right here. I got sold. So we're gonna do this next week. We're gonna review this one, and I'll let you guys know how this one is, how it tastes. But shout out to the gentlemen in there. They were very nice. They were very prompt. I told them, like, guys, I got 6 minutes. I can't roll nothing. Just give me a pre-roll and give me a disposable pen, and I'll review it right on the show.
Yes.
And the young man asked me, what we do, and I told him, and normally, guys, I'm not in the car. I'm usually at somewhere at a location. So I look crazy right now with the low light in my car, but normally I'm somewhere planning it. But I was kind of in the street, and the time got away. So, but normally. We're usually together. We are looking for spots to where we can, sit and do the podcast. So, I definitely have a better review next week.
If you have a spot, y'all, hit us up on the info at theagingpotheads.com. And we'll just, we'll hit it up. I didn't leave that up there long enough. I'm sorry, y'all. Just hit us up. If you have a space or you want us to come to your spot, we do have the ability to be remote. We do have that ability. So just let us know.
Yeah.
And, we don't want to keep y'all. We want to thank y'all for joining us tonight. Before we get out of here, like we always say, if you are having issues, my peoples, I want to talk with you and not about you.
Yes.
Call a friend. If you can't call a friend, dial 988, the suicide in the crisis lifeline. You can text or call them. Here in Vegas, you can call 211 from your phone and get the help you need. Just There's a situation we heard about this morning with a young lady, and one of our fans, one of our watchers, jumped to action and helped this young lady out. So definitely, y'all, help when you can. If not, if you're out there, you're not alone. Get on the phone, call someone, talk to someone, get the help you need. Because that's what it's about, y'all. Now, we do want to thank you for watching and smoking with us tonight. I am Big Brother Boss, aka Funky Monk. That is the beautiful Miss Candy. We are the Aging Potheads and are here every week, every Wednesday at 7. Seven-ish, y'all. Because sometimes
we don't be on time all the time.
Exactly. And thank you everybody for watching. Thanks for all those who are going to be watching on the replays. Now, definitely, as we always say, meditate and medicate. And until next time, stay lifted, my friends. Good night.
Stay lifted, y'all. Good night. Thank you. Thank you, Virtue.